a lot of information going on, and sometimes we just don't need to see that information. So we're going to use conditional templates. By AngularJS, there's ng-show and ng-hide, and there's ng-if, and you're going to see the difference between them. So let's just start using them. It will be very obvious. So let's start with ng-show. First of all, let's go to our templates. We have that form here, and that form I can only use if I'm logged in as a user. If I'm not logged in as a user, nothing in that form is functional. So I can just hide it if I'm not here. So I can use ng-show, that if the expression inside will evaluate to true, it will show it. If not, it will hide. The element will still be there, but it will just hide it with CSS. So let's call our root scope and take the current user from it. And the current user will be true, will be available if and will be equal to the user if it's there, and if we're not, if the user is not logged out, it will be undefined. So the form will just be hidden if we're not logged in. So then we can also, if we're not logged in, we can add like a message saying like login to create a party or something. Login to create a party. And this will be the opposite. So we can have ng-hide, or we can do ng-show with this thing. But let's do ng-hide just to show root scope current user. We also want to hide it if we're currently logged in. We don't want it to flash. So we have also root scope and logging in variable. And if the user is currently in a login process, this will be evaluated to true. So only if that's not happening, then show. Hide it if the user is logged in or is in login process. Next thing we want to hide is actually the RSVP's button. So if I'm not logged in, again, I don't want to, this is irrelevant. So again, let's do the same, ng-show equals root and current user. You notice that in the templates I'm using root, $root, and inside the controllers I'm using $root scope. And again, if we're like here, we can add like something like hiding it if we're not logged in or something like that. So the next thing I want to show you is like ng-if. ng-if is the same thing as ng-show, but the difference is that it's completely removing the element from the DOM. So let's do that. Let's go to, let's say, users who haven't responded, this list, and let's say if the party is this should be shown only if the party is not public. If it's not public, we don't need all of that. So let's just do ng-if, and then if party, not just if the party is not public. And yeah, and we can, if it's public, we can do like everyone is invited if it's public. So let's go here, everyone is invited, and we're gonna do ng-if and if party is public. Now we can also send a function into those, any expression that will evaluate to something. So let's see, let's go to inviting a user, and let's go here, and we have users to invite, but only if I can invite where I want to see it. So I can invite only if there is a party and only if the party is not public and I'm the owner. So let's just call a function. Let's do ng-show, and then call a function can invite, because it's too much logic for throwing it here. So then let's go to our controller. Let's copy the name and go to our controller and add a scope function. Can invite equals to a function, and this function needs to return if I can invite or not. So if there is a party, if there's not a party, then obviously I can't invite anyone. And then let's check. First, let's check if the party is public. And we can invite only if it's not public. And let's check as well if the party owner is equal to us. And we can use even meteor.userid. That is a global variable that is available everywhere. And we could just use that. We can also use the root scope, current user, and the ID. So let's go here and see that it worked. Let's run our app. And let's go inside and we see that here everything is okay. And let's, if I'm going here, I'm not supposed to see user to invite because I'm not the owner. You can see that we have errors. Let's check that. Party is not defined. Yes, of course. So let's go here, and this is scope parties. Party. Now let's check that again. Refresh both clients, and still there's an error. Let's check that. Scope is not defined because we need to call it $scope. And again, let's refresh. And now we can see that I'm the owner here, so I can see who to invite. Right now everyone is invited. And here I can't invite because I'm not the owner. But here also I can just type stuff and nothing will happen. So let's just prevent me of doing that. There's no reason for me to be able to do that. So let's just go here. And we can use ng-disable, which just disable something. So let's go here and disable this. So ng-disable, disabled. And if, let's say, if I'm not the party owner, I can't touch that. So if the party owner is not equal to the current user, which is root.current user.id. Now let's check that. And here I can edit that party, and here I can't even click inside. So let's just copy that for the rest of the fields. And as you can see, Meteor already prevent us from doing all those stuff, but in the UI we can also use those stuff to just to make the user understand he can do those stuff. That's it. Those are the ng-show, ng-hide, and ng